Hi guys, Adam here, welcome back to the channel, and today, as promised, we're going to be reviewing the Garmin Fenix 6. The Garmin Fenix 6 is a watch that I've been using for about 4 or 5 months now. I had the predecessor, the Fenix 5, for about 3 years beforehand, and today we're going to be looking at some of the key features that I find most valuable moving from the Fenix 5 to the Fenix 6 and all the associated sensors and monitors that I utilise alongside that on both my bike and myself. So first and foremost, what comes in the box? Fenix 6 watch and a charging cable. Now I personally actually go for a stand. I got this aftermarket on Amazon for about 15 quid, and it means I can actually sit the watch next to my computer or on my bedside table, wherever I'm charging that watch, and it's just a lot easier because actually the plug sticks in the back of the watch, and therefore you can't lay the watch flat on a tabletop or a desk when you're charging it. So the Fenix range is quite extensive, and as you can see in front of you, it starts with the Fenix S, and the Fenix S is a 42mm chassis. So the casing on that particular watch is 42mm in diameter, and then it goes up to the Fenix, which is 47, and the Fenix X, which is 51. And all three have varying options in terms of whether or not you want premium features or not. So premium features in essence includes Garmin Pay, the ability to use the NFC technology built into the watch to actually use your credit card and make transactions like you would from your mobile phone, but actually utilising your watch, a feature that I've used a couple of times and it works pretty well. It is slightly fiddly that you have to enter a 4-digit PIN to access that card. Obviously it needs to be secure, but because you haven't got the touch screen ability that you have on your mobile phone, you actually have to click round to get to those numbers to enter that 4-digit PIN. And then you've got the ability to actually upload music directly to the watch, and this is a great feature that prevents you having to take your mobile phone out running or cycling or wherever it is that you're utilising this watch in your fitness activities and endeavours. So you've also got, as you can see down here, 3 options. You've got standard, you've got sapphire, and you've got solar. So standard is the standard Fenix watch. It's the standard glass, and I actually have the sapphire model, and I wanted the sapphire model for one very good reason, and that's because when I'm stood up, my watch is at the perfect height for almost every door handle I come across, and it gets smashed and scuffed and scraped along door handles all the time. And as a result, my Fenix 5 did end up with a couple of small scratches on the screen. And since having this watch, it's been exactly the same. I've been smashing and scuffing and scratching my watch across door handles. And as you'll be able to see shortly, there is not a mark on the glass as yet. You've also got here, as you can see, the solar option. Now the solar option actually has an inbuilt solar panel around the outside of the watch face itself, and this, I'm told, and I've obviously not utilised that technology, enables you to, if you lessen the features continually running within the watch, actually accrue battery life and significantly prolong the time you need between charges. And with the additional features built into the Fenix 6 around expeditions and adventure racing and what have you, this technology means that actually this watch will last you weeks rather than days or even hours like some of the other sports watches on the market. So from a battery standpoint, is that I charge this watch probably once every 1 to 2 weeks. The battery's pretty good. If I'm doing a lot of exercise and I'm going out for extended long runs or long cycles, then I do have to charge it more frequently. But on an average week, I probably charge it weekly, if not every 10 days or so. Now, the data from the watch obviously feeds into the Garmin Connect app and website, and within the website you're going to have all of the relevant information associated to the data that the watch has fed through your mobile phone to the Garmin Connect interface. So you'll have your steps, your heart rate, your body battery, your latest activities, your up and coming activities based on any training programs that you're utilizing from the Garmin platform. You'll also have your resting heart rate, your intensity minutes, any stress, and your sleep data, all on that front dashboard screen. So under activities, you can break that down and have a look at all activities or just the key everyday health type activities that the majority of the fitness watches on the market track. You can have a look at your health stats, and obviously a lot of this information requires you to actually input data. So hydration, calories, it actually requires you to input some data. But sleep, body battery, heart rate, stress, all of those key sort of metrics are all measured automatically. You've also got within the Fenix 6 and the Fenix 5 beforehand a really good golf functionality. So if you are a keen golfer, and I play occasionally, you can actually leverage the watch, download the specific course that you're playing on, and it will upload the holes on that course and then give you a GPS driven distance to the hole and the ability to track your score throughout that game on that specific course. You've also got within here training, so if you're utilizing any training programs from the Garmin Connect platform, you have the ability to input or download specific workouts and courses. If you map out a route that you want to take on your bike or your run, you can download that to your watch. And with the Fenix 6 introducing maps, which was only available on the Fenix 5X previously, the bigger, more expensive model, that's now available on the Fenix 6 Pro models. So you can actually leverage that full GPS mapping capability on the watch itself when you download or create courses within the Garmin Connect application or website. You've also got within here the ability to track how much usage your gear is having. So as you can see here, I've got 3 pairs of trainers that I utilize for running. Actually, these are now retired. So I can click there and say retire. But actually what you can see here is my Brooks trail running shoes and my Hoka Clifton 7s that I utilize day to day. And you can see how many miles you have run in those shoes. Likewise, you can actually start tracking how many miles you've done on your bike. So I've got my road bike and my mountain bike, and I can see how many miles I've done on those. You can also set defaults based on every time you select bike or run in the Garmin watch. It will automatically allocate those miles traveled during that activity to that specific piece of equipment. Within here, you've also got insights, and this will give you daily insights into how your step count, your floors climbed, your heart rate, this, that, and the other compares to the general populace utilizing the Garmin Connect application, and reports. Within reports, you can get extensive data on specific areas of both your fitness, your activities, and your health, aligned to the data that's being input to this platform via your Garmin watch. So if we start having a look at the actual watch itself, you can see here that my particular watch is black. It comes with a black strap as standard. On the back, you can see that heart rate monitor and that charging connection. And for the purposes of this, I'm just going to take these straps off. Now these straps are quick release in the same way that they were on the Fenix 5. You've got the ability to swap them out. I've actually also got a metal strap for sort of dressier occasions, I suppose you could say. And within the watch itself, you've got 5 key buttons. So you've got the light, and also that gives you access to the settings menu. So you can scroll around and you can see how much battery you've got left, your music controls, your wallet for Garmin Pay, your timers, your alarm, your location, and alternative time zones. You've also got your widgets that you can scroll directly through utilizing the up and down buttons here. So you can go through and have a look at the weather, sunset, your compass, your training condition, mine is fair, which isn't ideal. Your training status, proportionate to how much training you're doing, and the split between aerobic, anaerobic, and easy aerobic, i.e. really low intensity. Your last activity, how many steps you've done on that given day. You can also see your live heart rate data, have a look at your pulse oxygen, Any up and coming events or notifications from either your calendar or your mobile phone will also feed directly into here, as well as whatever you're listening to at that particular point in time, your weekly training efforts, and how much sleep you're having. Within the watch, you've also got your pretty much go button and your lap button. So this is start, stop, and this is change lap or back through the menu settings. So if I select my start button, here you've got your varying activities, and you can upload or remove specific activities from this section of the watch as you see fit, directly from either the mobile phone or from the website by selecting your watch within that platform. So as you can see here, trail run, hike, bike indoor, pool swim, and you can go through and you can see all of these different activities. And also you've got the ability to access the navigation, the expedition, the track me, i.e. track from where I am right now, and direct access to maps, which you can utilize to drop points and navigate to them directly from the watch using the inbuilt GPS capabilities. You've also got the ability to add or remove widgets from within the watch itself that you may or may not want on the general activity screen. If I select back, you've also within here, as you can see on the home screen, got the ability to completely customize what you have on your general watch face. So I've got my altimeter or altimeter, how high I am, the date, the high and low temperature for the day, how much battery I've got left in my watch, my heart rate, and my daily steps. So if I go into settings by holding down the up button and watch face, I've got the ability to sift through the different watch faces available on this watch. And then once I've selected a watch face, I can go in and change the colors and the data fields within that screen itself. Now, one of the key features that I really like about the Fenix 6 over the Fenix 5 is the ability to add additional data screens on your activity tracking screens. So within here, if I go through and I select activities and applications, and I go down and I select running, I can actually within run settings set my data screens. So I can go down and I can select whichever data screen I want to adjust. So let's say I want to go through and adjust my primary data screen that comes up as standard when you go running, and you go layout, and you can change the layout of that data screen. Now I'm going to go back to this. Now on the Fenix 5, you had a lesser number of data screens available to you. Now having the ability to have 6 data screens that I can just glance at while my watch is strapped to my handlebars, making it really easy for me to gauge whether I need to put more effort in, put less effort in, speed up or slow down accordingly. So along with the watch and the Garmin Connect application and website, I also utilize a heart rate monitor. So I utilize the Garmin Tri heart rate monitor specifically targeted at triathlons. It's relatively elastic and completely waterproof, which means I swim, run and cycle with this on. It comes with an extension if your chest is bigger than this monitor allows for. I don't have a huge amount of room left on this one. I just run it under the tap before I put it on, and that ensures that these pads are moist when they're against your skin and ensure that the relevant signals can pass through to the strap, and subsequently it can start absorbing that heart rate information. That then feeds directly into your watch in real time with dry activities, so running, cycling, will always update accordingly directly from the heart rate monitor. If you're swimming, it will store that data on the heart rate monitor, and then you can download that data to your watch post activity, and it will give you the opportunity to do that after that activity has finished. I've also got on my bike a cadence sensor and a speed sensor. The cadence sensor is strapped to my crank and the speed sensor is strapped to the hub on my front wheel, and those again both directly feed data to my watch as I'm moving. All of these sensors automatically emit a Bluetooth signal at the point they start motion. So if you spin your front wheel on your bike, when your watch is next to that front wheel, it will automatically pick up that speed sensor, the same with the cadence sensor, and obviously when you put the heart rate monitor on and start an activity, it will automatically link to that heart rate monitor and start absorbing that information. The Fenix 6 also comes with a live track feature, as did the Fenix 5, whereby you can put in the contact details or email address of an individual and it will send notification to them when an activity begins. They then get a link where they can track where you are geographically, so that if in a situation you get a puncture or something bad happens and you need help, they know where you are. You've also got an incident alert on the Fenix 6, so if it detects that something bad has happened, God forbid there's some sort of car accident, or you for whatever reason get stranded somewhere, it can detect in some instances that an incident may have occurred and again alert the relevant individual that you've selected as the key contact. So if we drill down into an activity, what you can see is the overview in terms of information from distance, time, average pace, elevation gain and the calorie burning during that particular exercise. You can also see on here where it shows where you've been, actually a heat map based on either your pace, your heart rate or your elevation, and how they increased or decreased based on the effort you were putting in at that segment of the run, ride or other activity. You can scroll down and you can see a graphical representation of elevation, pace and heart rate, and you can pitch that against time or distance. And as you scroll through, it will actually show you where on the map you were at any particular point in time, so that you can see if a particular segment was really, really difficult and subsequently you felt like that must have been a hell of an incline, or a particular segment was particularly fast and you want to have a look at quite how quick that subsection was. You can go back and you can look at that information. You can also see some information, in this instance this is running, so start looking at your cadence, your vertical ratio, your ground contact time, etc. If you go into that level of detail, I don't go into that level of detail a huge amount. I just tend to look at cadence, heart rate, pace. You can also go into a lot more detail looking at individual laps or segments or time in heart rate zones. So if you are doing a Garmin led training program, there is the option of utilizing heart rate zones to train against, and it will separate out the components of that training program in terms of easy, medium to hard based on the heart rate zone that you should be in. And obviously most training programs say that about 80% of your training should be in sort of zone 2 or less, and that will utilize the data fed through from the heart rate monitor to the watch to alert you when you go above that zone 2 threshold, or when you're below that zone 2 threshold, and allow you to adjust your pace, your effort, etc. accordingly. Also within here, you've obviously got your calendar. Your calendar will populate itself with both your proposed training schedule, if you are following a training plan, as well as what you've done to date, and you can automatically access any of your exercises or workouts from the Garmin calendar to have an easy overview or a quick peek, if you like, at that information, and then dive down into the details of that particular activity as we were just looking at a moment ago. So as you can see, we're now looking at the Garmin Connect app on my mobile phone, and you can quite clearly see there, scheduled this afternoon, I need to go out on a hilly bike ride. You can see my training status, my VO2 max, my body's ability to absorb and convert oxygen into energy, and my training load, i.e. how much training I am doing across the 3 types of training that the system tracks to work out that average. So as you can see here, my training load is productive, but I do have a shortage in low aerobic activities. You can also see my heart rate as I'm talking to you. You can see body battery, a feature that I'll come back to in a moment, stress, intensity minutes, steps, how many floors I've climbed, how many calories I've burnt today, and my sleep. If I jump back into body battery utilizes your sleep versus your exertion to work out on a percentage out of 100 where your body battery is for any particular point in the day. So as you can see here, I started the day at around 48, and progressively we've gone up and we're now coming down as I'm going through my day. So at the point I woke up, and then I've been sat on my desk for most of the day, and that's now progressively coming down. And you can go back and you can look at different dates and how that's changed over time. And further down the line, as we look at the impact of becoming a new dad and what effect that's had on both sleep and ability to recover, this is going to be a key feature that I actually call on almost every single day to get real understanding of how my body is coping and the extent to which my recovery is going to be impacted. So if we jump back into the application, within here, in exactly the same way as the web interface, you can see your activities, your health status, your performance, training gear, insights. It all is pretty much exactly the same, but the data is so readily available. What you do not get with the Garmin Connect application on your mobile phone is the clarity that is presented by reports, and the reports on the web interface give you a really detailed insight into exactly what's going on and the ability to drill further into that data that's continually being absorbed by your watch. You've also got easy access to your calendar. You can drill into any given day and you can see what workouts are in place for that particular day if you are following one of those training programs. You also have the ability to link this with applications such as Training Peaks or Strava and build out programs utilizing those platforms as well. So I hope you found that review of the Garmin Fenix 6 useful. I utilize my watch extensively. I reference the application on both my mobile phone and the web UI almost every single day to ensure that I'm tracking the right way towards the goals that I'm training for at the time. If you're interested in buying a Fenix 6 or any of the associated sensors that I've referenced in this video today, I've put links to all of them in the description below. If you found this video useful and are interested in following my journey, you can see the first installment to my fitness journey or my endurance journey as a new dad on that side of the screen, and you can see the second installment in terms of my fitness background on that side of the screen, and down here you can click the button to subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you on the next video.